Ready?
Hello, and welcome to Rhythm and Pixels, a video game music podcast. This is episode 39-5. We're your hosts. My name is Rob Nichols.
And I'm Sleepy Joe.
Every week we listen to great video game music, all tracks from all consoles and all generations. We just pick a topic, we pick some music that maybe fits that topic. Maybe the topic is not even music related, not even game related.
That's part of the joy,
We just do it, Pernell.
We make it work. We figure out ways to come up with topics, but sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just weird. Sometimes it's that thing you ate for lunch.
Sometimes you could say that we push out the jive and we
Bringing in the love.
you know? That's what we're doing.
Well, won't we technically bring in the love? Well, I guess we would bring in the love and then push out the... No, I don't know. The point is we make people happy.
We bring in the love with our sponsors.
There it is.
Right.
Sponsors like air and water.
In Hoagie Fest.
I wish. That would be the dream. Before this show wraps up, it'd be like, we got a sponsorship from Wawa for Hoagie Fest. That would be a dream.
A sponsorship for Hoagie Fest. So our last two, what's it called? Morning Rush episodes. I just made my posts for those are getting more and more unhinged and just silly. And it's just like, get in your car and drive like crazy. Go through people. It doesn't matter. You got to get to work. Listen to this episode. You know.
Take all the time you want to get to work. That's why you have the episode.
It's yeah. You got to get to work before the episode's over.
But then they don't hear the whole episode.
No, they got to get there. It's the timer.
It has to be the exact amount of time it takes to get to work.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to make up like really.
It's the morning measured drive.
As unsafe as possible advice for each episode. I'm really enjoying that. So
just put sugar in your gas tank. It makes it go faster.
It does. Yeah, it really does. It's like nitro.
That's right.
Night.
Put a banana in your tailpipe. It'll back up all the gas, and then when it's ready to launch, it'll shoot the banana out, and boom, you get a rush.
Yeah, exactly. The banana shoots out like in Fast. No, they didn't do that in Fast and Furious. That was
I'm pretty sure that's the way people kill other people. I'm pretty sure in real life that's how people die.
Yeah, that's how that happens. But no, I was thinking Fast and Furious where they have the nitrous button, but it's just like it's just a bag of sugar.
Just dumps in the tank. This car's unstable.
Where like bananas like fly out the tailpipe.
Just launches off like we're building up charge.
Like that. I played Mario Kart, man. I know that banana peels slow down your car.
I wish there was something like that in existence too, but then deep down I also know how truly dangerous that would be.
Oh, it's super dangerous.
Just to have like, well, you can just take this can of peas and throw it at the guy in the car in front of you. Spit him out.
I remember at a DDR tournament. Gosh.
They handed out cans of peas to throw at dancers.
Was it 25 years ago, I guess? I don't know. Someone had parked their car in front of the place and people were joking and put food, I think Chinese food, into the gas tank.
Oh, God.
As a joke.
That's a terrible joke.
Yeah, ruined the car.
But those like wily DDR guys.
And someone was like running around being like, who did this? And screaming. And I'm like...
It was their car,
and I'm like, I was on the sidewalk. I don't know who did it. I don't know any of these people. I'm like, am I complicit? I don't know anymore.
Guy Incognitus did it, I guess.
I felt really bad being there, but then at the same time, like, I didn't...
Imagine being that stupid, though.
Very dumb. There's a lot of dumb people in their 20s at that time.
Oh, yeah, but there's certain levels where it's like, goes beyond the basic, and I think shoving Chinese food into a person's gas tank, that's a new level of dumb.
Super dumb.
Good God. I've done dumb things that generally impact me.
Yeah.
I didn't ruin someone's multi-$1,000 car.
Okay, one time I needed windshield wiper fluid in my tank, right? And I was driving home from somewhere, I think from playing ITG, and it was like raining, right? And it was super so I couldn't really see, and I poured it into where the oil goes.
Oh God, that's a bad one. But at least it wasn't intentional; it was just a mistake.
And I was like looking online, I was like, "Is this gonna break everything? I don't know what's gonna happen." And eventually, I got to a garage, or Jiffy Lube. I went to some garage, and I was like, "Is my car gonna break down?" They're like, "No, don't worry about it. It'll just burn off. It'll be fine." I was like, "All right." So you might feel a weird thing or might smell something weird, but it's just the wiper fluid.
It's just burning through, but it's not damaging the car.
Yeah, it's like, how much do you put? It's like, not much till I realized what I was doing. I'm like, good. It should be all right.
See, that's an example of well-meaning stupid, as in it's not bad. It's just whoops. I'll give you an example that I did too, so we're even.
Okay.
So when I was a kid, I was outside cleaning the snow and ice off the ground. I had a big snowstorm.
Yes.
And my dad was at work. And I thought, no, he was in bed sleeping.
Was this like the 90, 93?
It was the 90s, sometime in the 90s.
I was like, we had a big snowstorm. That was the last time we had a big one.
It had to be early 90s, though, because, you'll learn why in a second.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, well, I'm shoveling, cleaning up all the ice and snow, and I want to do a really nice thing for my dad. So I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to clean all the ice and snow off of his car. So when he wakes up, he can just drive and go to work.
No.
So I was using a metal shovel to get the ice and snow off the ground. And I used a metal shovel to break the ice off of his car.
No.
So when all the ice was gone and you could actually see the car,
it was
covered in scrapes and scratches. I screwed up his car, dented the car and everything. And I didn't know. I'm still sitting there proud, like, yay, I cleaned Dad's car. And the level of restraint my dad had to have had when he came out and saw his car and did not strangle me on sight. He was like, did you do that? I was like, yeah. And he's like, you tried. That's good. You know, like, he couldn't yell at me.
Because like his son wanted to do something nice for him.
And it cost his car hundreds of dollars of damage.
Oh, God.
It was like, Christ. I think he ended up buying a new car shortly after that.
Oh, was it that bad?
Enough that he wanted another car.
Wow.
Like, it was just like, whoops. But I look back on that to this day, and I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? But in the end, I was trying. Now, imagine if I was like, you know what? A little laugh. What if I just shoved Chinese food in Dad's gas tank?
No, I did that to, not Chinese food, but with the ice. I did that to my Hyundai, like, way back when. I was trying to break the ice off the top of the car because I hate it when people don't take the snow off the top of their cars and you're driving and like a huge pile of snow comes at you. And ice is even more dangerous, right? And so I couldn't break it. So I used the scraper side of the thing, and I was like, I'll just tap it. Just scrape.
Too much?
Yeah. Oof. Man, I swear to this day, cars should have bumpers. They don't make bumpers for cars anymore.
Oh yeah, because they want that money when they just. I guess it's easier to produce them too. It's not all just about money. But
and then even when we had bumpers, I was like, why can't we just have like a bumper all around the car? Like if you're spending tens of thousands of dollars on a car, it should have a bumper all the way around it.
I guess that's ugly or something. Who knows?
I don't know, man.
But I do think it's a good idea.
Maybe bumper cars on the road.
But that's also largely, the whole crumple zone thing. It all becomes a part of the car layout. So to have a bumper, I guess, takes away from the crumple
it takes away
zone.
from. Yeah, that's right. I think you just answered the question.
Yeah, but as
mortality rate.
But as a human being with limited resources and funding, I think you just want me to spend more money to replace the entire back of the car.
Yeah.
Because it gets totaled when you get into an accident now versus just a portion of the car getting wrecked. That is to say, life is strange, and half of this was about a black person's history. Not your half, my half.
Are you doing the segue?
I was a terrible segue.
No.
But half of that was a black man's history.
I'm so proud.
I try.
You did the bad segue.
I did the bad segue, and I'm going to tap dance to it because I'm happy about it.
That's right.
So, fun fact. I've never been a fan of history in school. Always drove me freaking nuts.
For me, it was just memorization. Because history is always memorization, and I'm terrible at memorizing.
That's largely why for me, but also because in grade school and up, they kind of saccharinize all of it.
Yeah.
Like you don't get the real deep nitty gritty of it until, if you're lucky, you might get a high school class that gives it to you straight. When I got to college, I did. That was when I started really appreciating history, which is also when I took Black history,
right?
Which is what this episode's theme is also about. Now, don't get it wrong. I'm not going to sit here and be like, so here's what I learned in class. That's not what we're all about.
We're not going to play just the entire OST of North versus South.
That is true.
Which was what, for the Genesis?
Yeah. I think there's some tracks in there were pretty good though. But Rob had the idea for the topic, and
we did it last year.
We did, but I didn't think to do it this year. And you were like, you want to do Black History? Of course. I'm always going to be about that.
3 days ago.
But here's the funny thing when it comes down to this, though. So when it comes to Black History Month in the scope of video games, we may have come at it from different ways, but I think of it as usually being either A, influential game characters,
yes,
or just black characters that you like or whatever. And the funny thing about it to me is that, one, in my heyday of influential games, there were very few black characters in games to represent.
Right.
And I pretty much acknowledged all of those the last time we did this.
Yes.
So now I'm like, what do I want to do this time? So I got a little, well, at least with one of them, I got a little funny. The other two are just like me being like, this seems reasonable. I'll go with that.
So last year, I was like, no, I'm going to find like black-owned publishers, developers, and like that level of research, I was not prepared for. And I only got so far, but I'm proud of what I did.
Oh, I think you did great when you did it.
This time, I said no. There's always awesome black characters in fighting games, and I just went through fighting games.
There it is.
And there's also great music in fighting games, so I want that style.
Now, one thing we should know.
Also, I mean, the FGC, the fighting game community, is fully diverse, and some of the top players in the world are African American.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I will say, I think that's some of the best aspects of that community, too. Like, I remember, he wasn't black, obviously, but meeting Justin Wong for the first time.
Yeah.
This was many moons ago. But that dude was awesome. And this was before I was going to ASIN and stuff, so, yeah, he was very unlike any other fighting game player I'd ever met up to that point in my life, and he was solid.
Yeah, some of my favorite and the top Street Fighter players out there. There's Punk to God. He's from Philly. Mm-hmm. There is Dominion. There's so, like, I'm trying to remember the guy from the UK, but like, there's just, it's great. It's just great, and they all get together, and because the FGC is what it is. There's very few invitational tournaments. Mm-hmm. If you go to a tournament, everyone's on the same level, and you have to work your way to the top from the bottom.
There it is.
Even EVO, with like 900, 1,000 people entering one game, everyone's in a bracket, and you got to work up to the top.
Yes.
Like, at some point, some poor schmuck is going to have to fight Daigo first game.
And that poor guy. But you got to admit, aside from the fact that you drove all the way out there for the tournament or flew or whatever,
yeah,
at least you know.
You get to play Daigo.
No, screw that. It's just, at least you know, like we were talking about on the last week's episode with the board game stuff, at least you know you're likely going to lose. If you beat Daigo, that is YouTube-worthy stuff, and you're going to be dancing a merry jig. But if you lose, everyone expected it, including you.
My guy, I was like, I just don't want to go 0-2. Just don't want to go 0-2.
Don't want to go 0-2. Oh, I'm not even that good. I'm like, I don't want a goose egg. I want at least no perfect losses.
No perfect.
I want to do a chip damage at least. And I've had games where I've lost to the guy. I'm like, I don't even care. You see that life bar? It doesn't say 100%. And you can get perfect victory because screw you. I'm getting you with something.
Right. That was a tangent. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And honestly, I had a light tangent before anything else too, which was I wanted to say, can't have a Black History Month episode of a show that relates to video games. Definitely not one related to retro games, and not acknowledge, at least by name, Jerry Lawson, who was considered to be the grandfather, or the father rather, of the video game cartridge.
Yes.
Which means without him, we wouldn't have access to the Atari, which leads up to other notable consoles like the Nintendo, Master System, cartridge-based anything.
Yeah, well, the idea that you could sell the hardware, the system, and then the software separately, and suddenly the software becomes the product, and that could be interchangeable to the system, and you can license. Originally, it wasn't licensed out to third-party publishers, but then it became, and that was like, wait a minute, we can have a larger library that we don't have to do now. In those days, those were the Wild West days, where they were just like, oh, we're just going to make our own Donkey Kong, and then we'll just do it, like that kind of thing. But a huge revolution in that. Like,
my memory might be off, but I to this day swear I remember the original Atari Pac-Man not even being a Namco game. It was just some random company.
Yeah, well, Pac-Man was full of piracy back in the day, even in the arcades too. I mean, that's how we got Miss Pac-Man.
Oh, I'm glad that happened, because Miss Pac-Man beat the crap out of Pac-Man.
I think so too. The original Pac-Man for the Atari 2600 was one of the worst games ever created.
Yes,
that I spent a lot of time as a kid.
It was terrible.
Like when I talk about like my nostalgia box upstairs where I'm going to be playing, like I put 2600 games on it because that's my nostalgia.
But you got Combat.
Oh, Combat was awesome.
Better have Combat.
Me and my brother played Combat forever. Just,
I bought a game on Steam called Sugar Tank solely because it seems close to Combat.
Close to Combat. Oh my gosh. All right, let's get started with some music. We just did like a whole other chat episode just now.
Sorry, guys. We know you came for the beats.
Came for the beats.
Rob might just slap a track in the middle there just to wish us luck.
No. We're doing it. We're doing this old style. I hardly do any editing, and it just goes out the door. I edit everything else. All right.
Do it in post.
All right, what's your first track?
So my first track is going to be the goofy one, which is that I spent time actually trying to figure out.
Goof Troop for the SNES?
No, I wish.
Oh.
No, I was trying to honestly think about
Goofy Black?
who was the. I've seen people claim him.
Yeah?
I think the racial draft, we would get Goofy.
I agree with that. I have, but then again, like I can't make those decisions.
Yuck. We would get him. We would get Goofy.
This is going to be the whole episode. Hey, is such and such black?
Yes, he is. But this guy is definitely black. And what this came from, I was trying to figure out who would be considered as the first black character in a video game. And I was expecting it to be something in like the 90s or late 80s or whatever.
Right.
Lo and behold, it's actually from the 70s.
Okay.
So,
wait, are we listening to
we're listening to some music from an Atari game.
Oh my gosh.
So, first and foremost, the game in question, I could not find a track for that. But doesn't matter.
What's the game? What's the game?
The game is basketball.
Oh.
Just basketball. Actually, it might still be that game. I'll double check on the break. But anyway, the track itself is from One-on-One Basketball, Dr. J versus Larry Bird.
Yeah, I played a lot of this game.
And this was programmed, which means I'm assuming he did the music for it, Eric Hammond. Because there weren't composers back then. It was just, here's my game.
Often it was the same person.
Welcome back. You're listening to the theme from the game Basketball, One-on-One Basketball to be exact, Dr. J versus Larry Bird, released on the Atari 7800, composed and produced pretty much by Eric Hammond.
Yeah, so I mean, like first of all, these two basketball players were enormous in their time. I mean,
I actually was learning more about, I knew about who Julius Erving was from back in the day, but then later learned that even now, he apparently has one of the best records between the NBA and the previous league, the ABA. So, unexpected things that I never knew about.
Yeah, and Larry Bird was like
Larry Bird. He was a pro star.
Yeah, pro star, yeah.
I'm almost positive he was. Wasn't he? He was a pro. No, Wayne Gretzky was a pro star.
Oh, that was that show, right? That was Wayne Gretzky. Yeah,
but Larry Bird did have a TV show thing going at one point.
Yeah, probably. He was
Captain N. I'm going to double check right now.
I wouldn't be surprised. He was huge. I think he's coaching now. Or he's doing something.
I was right. Larry Bird absolutely was on Captain and the Game Master.
Oh, I love that.
They were in a basketball world, and they had to help them defeat like these weird basketball hoop enemies.
A double dribble.
It may as well be. It probably was like double dribble.
And that show hardly ever had like actual game. It was just the game characters doing stuff.
Oh, no. Let's not get it twisted. They had the games. It was unlicensed. So they kind of got done with like some of the authenticity of it. But it definitely did. Like, they would go to, like, Mega Man's world. It's like, who's Mega Girl? Well, Dr. Wily creates Mega Girl. It's like, no, there's Roll. I don't know who the heck this Mega Girl is. But they came up with her for the show. No. So, real quick, before we get back to more Mega Man, because I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
But,
Atari 7800. So not a lot of music on that system. Really surprised.
Remember, I crapshooted this because the actual game, I can't find music for it. The original game that I was referring to was just basketball.
Right.
And the character was just a black basketball player. So he's just a basketball guy on the screen.
Right.
But then as a follow-up to that I thought was interesting was that...
that's right. Oh, I remember this game.
But like after that, they did come out with very shortly after with the one-on-one basketball. And they very intentionally and specifically had to create a basketball character because the basketball character was Dr. J. And the other one was meant to represent Larry Bird.
That makes sense. Now, have you ever played Atari 2600 boxing?
No.
That is literally white and black.
And the ring boxing.
It's actually very clever because it's top down and you're trying to punch the person's nose.
Also in the center.
Yeah, and so your button just alternates between left and right.
Oh, so it's not... Oh, because there's only one button on the
only
controller.
One button on the controller, yeah. It's pretty clever. They really had some interesting ideas for that. But now basketball on the 2600 was a lot like Pong, except that imagine the ball doesn't go straight left and right. It bounces, has a little bit of gravity to it. And you're trying to bounce it off your player. They had a few games like that. There was one called Circus where it was like you essentially had like a person bouncing on a trampoline. You're trying to bounce them from one side to the other.
Do you ever wonder sometimes
idea.
when it comes to classic games and the modern gaming how we have the abundance of choice right now? It kind of comes back to the Castlevania discussion again.
Right.
How many Metroidvanias exist now if you want to play one? There's so many games. You can always have access to something. If you want to play a game of a style, there are tons of them all the time. But then there was that golden era when nothing existed yet and people were just making things and the advancement would release new games like N64, we got Mario 64, which was the first full 3D platformer. We're not talking about Crash Bandicoot. Full 3D platformer. And there were no other ones. That was the fix.
Right. They had to come up with the Lux. They had to come up with like the words to describe stuff. They had to come up with like how do you even play a game like this? They came up with all the rules for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the learning, like I remember going to Toys R Us and being flummoxed with how Mario can run into the screen, out of the screen, and around in circles.
Sure.
Like, I remember spending like 30 minutes just doing backflips and cartwheels in the store. Not personally, but making Mario do them because he could. Like, that era, and then going further back, like, when, hell, Final Fantasy IV, well, 2 in America, but when you first played Final Fantasy II, after coming from, like, Dragon Warrior, and seeing what they did with it, it floored me. Like, yeah, Final Fantasy 1 looked sort of like that, but it didn't carry the same gravitas. Like, it not even close. The way they told stories, the way the characters interacted in the battles, it just felt special. And if you wanted to get your next fix, you had to wait for someone else to go, someone did that, now we got to try to do it too. Because they're running the gamut until someone comes along and improves on it or repeats it. So... You look back on the Atari era.
Well, the Atari era was like, there's no rules except that people are like, oh, it's a video game, so you're playing for points, right? So how do you get more points? And they'll come up with one mechanic, and then that is the game. Where normally it'd be like, okay, well, it's a boxing game, right? But like maybe you have like a stamina meter, right? And there's 3 rounds, okay? So there's a timer for 3 rounds. But this is just, you have to punch the other guy, and you play until you have the most points, and that's the.
Is that what boxing? Did you have a score?
It's just score, yeah. And that's it, and that's all there is to it. And they had a Star Wars game, right? It was awesome. It was cool. It was based on Empire Strikes Back in the opening, where you're on Hoth and you're fighting those giant walker things, right? And the game is literally just flying back and forth, shooting at these things.
But you get points.
You're just shooting at things and getting points. There's nothing else going on.
So there's another example of an innovation. The first game that didn't have a score.
Yeah, so that's something, right? So I think even Adventure had a score. So it probably took a while. I think even Pitfall had a score where like even though the purpose of that game was to get to the end,
but it had a score,
which is impossible to do.
Super Pitfall even had a score.
Yeah, it has a score. So it's just very, very strange. But but for these older style games, it was like, here's one mechanic, and that's all it is. And so they have to make it, like even Combat had like 5 or 6 different games, but it was always kind of the same thing.
It makes me want to take time one day, just like come up like a history line of like the innovation of shmups. Like
Yeah.
going down that line, the innovation of the RPG.
Oh, there's
just
great.
charting it out.
Honestly, I've watched some great YouTube videos about the history of shmups.
That would be fun.
Because it all, I mean, you trace it all back to, I mean, as far as like, one thing flies across the screen, makes a thing disappear. Like you can go all back to Space War, which is like one of the first video games ever made, and then Defender is probably one of the first scrolling games ever made. And then there's a lot of them.
It might be Asteroids, the one where you're in the center of the screen with the ship and you're blasting the actual asteroids and they break into smaller bits. Not as in you're in the center. You're not the missile command. You're actually the ship on the screen.
Yeah, that's Asteroids.
That's Asteroids?
Asteroids, yeah, that's one of the first ones. But Space War was a very similar thing, except it's multiple ships and you're kind of flying around shooting at each other. There were variations on that. I want to say I played either on an emulator or on the 26, where it gave points of gravity. So like at certain areas, like it would suck you in and spin you around. Ooh. So you were fighting gravity in different areas. Maybe that was just on the PC, but it was a really cool idea. It was like based on Space War.
I miss gaming innovation.
Yeah.
I miss it so much.
Well, nowadays, like that would be wrapped in like, 5 or 10 other mechanics with like, artwork and characters.
Pretty
but
much.
This is pure mechanics, right?
That's pretty much like right now, a game just came out called Romeo is a Dead Man. All right. That's a Suda 51 game. And that is a modern day example of innovation that's not going to be like the first Survivors, which is like, what was like freaking Vampire Survivors.
Right.
But that is pretty much literally what you just said. Get really weird with the narrative and all the stuff, and then combine like 5 or 6 genres into one game.
Yes.
And then go have fun with that.
And
classify that.
And that's where we are now, because we've done so many different things. Board games are the same way, but I'm not going to get into that anymore. I'm not going to be playing that 7800 tune this entire time we're talking, because the listeners will go crazy. All right, so because you played a classic track, I'm going to play a classic track too. This is from Eternal Champions. Okay. I'm playing all fighting games.
I remember Eternal Champions.
Yeah, I watched some playthrough earlier today because I was like just kind of nostalgic for it. Eternal Champions, we're listening to Blade's theme for the Sega Genesis. There's multiple composers. I don't know who composed what, but it was one of those like production houses.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Joe Delia, John Hart, Jeff Marsh, Adrian Von Velsen, and Andy Armour.
Memories about this game.
Yeah. It's more of the later era Genesis games.
Back when they had the red border with the lines going through it.
Yeah, Eternal Champions for the Sega Genesis. So this is a fighting game, and the idea, and honestly, you think about like stories within fighting games, they're usually like kind of tacked on.
Oh, this one's janky as all get out.
No, this one, I think it's interesting, right? So there's a guy, it's some silly idea where like he's got this separate dimension where he's balancing light and dark, and so what he's doing is he's taking people from different times on Earth.
Yep.
The moment before they die, into this world, and then they have to fight it out to be like the grandest one. And whatever. And it's a fighting game, right? But because so now it's kind of like Time Killers or whatever it is, where like there are characters from different times in different eras, different fantasy worlds on Earth. But there's overkills where if you
let me take a guess real quick, because I'm gonna see if I remembered it. So,
because you're fighting in different times too.
Yes, I want to say, if I remember correctly, unlike games like Mortal Kombat, where it was like input a button command and your character does a special thing, I remember the kills in this game being related to the level you were on.
Yes.
And getting killed at a certain spot on the map or something.
Right. You have to knock the character out on a very specific spot. And sometimes it's pretty easy where it's like all the way on the left or like right in the middle. Like you can see where it is, but it's not always really. It's not always
obvious.
Obvious. I can't think of the word, but like it's relevant to the stage. And what's interesting is that it's relevant to the character. So like because if you're playing against the computer, then it's always going to be relevant because you're always playing that against that character
on that stage,
which is their time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you beat them, they're out of the tournament, which means they get murdered.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the idea that like you don't really know where you have to defeat your opponent for that to happen, because then it's like it almost feels like it happens randomly, or it happened that one time.
See, it's easy for you to say that.
That's
because
cool.
You said it yourself that you didn't play. Did you say you didn't play this back in the day, or you did?
Oh, I did, and because I was such a Street Fighter head, it kind of like I didn't like super get into it.
Oh, okay, so in that case, you didn't have the same play I had then, because my friend, one of my neighborhood friends, had this game. So as you like the experience too, one kid gets the game, everyone goes to that kid's house, everybody plays the game.
Yeah.
But what if you don't want to play that game? What if you want to play a better game? But you can't play a better game because all these friends love this game and they want to get all the overkills. So they got to find all the special spots. So they got to keep doing the same levels over and over again.
Oh, so they're just replaying.
Drove me freaking nuts. And then eventually, like EGM had like a thing where it's like, okay, here are the overkill spots. And it's like, thank God.
Oh, the overkills are cool though.
Well, they were cool to watch, but getting to them when you don't want to play the game, not so great.
But it's a great idea for a game. It's a great story. Blade, total 90s character, huge flat top hair. He is a bounty hunter from the future. The year 2030, Pernell.
Oh, wow. Oh, God, that kill every freaking time. You look back on all those old movies, like, we had a lot of imagination to think the year 2030 would have hover cars and freaking, like, lasers.
Yeah.
Which I guess we could have.
Like
they just want to
green bodysuit, and he shoots, like, electricity out of his hands. And
like, if we just let technology run rampant, would that be something we could do now?
Unfortunately, we are letting technology run rampant, and this is where we are.
I wish let's rephrase that. Let's let technology run rampant in a fun way.
In a fun way. In
a fun way that isn't killing the planet.
And rather create, time spanning tournaments.
Like another example, freaking what was it? Back to the Future 2. When he goes to the future, they got hover cars, hover boards, self-tying shoes, which I think they did actually release. Someone did make those. I don't think they were mainstream, but I don't think they got a mass release, but they did get made.
Right.
And you watch that movie, and then the one day you wake up and go, wait a minute, that already happened. Which I guess for everybody was right around the time it happened, because all the news outlets were like, oh my God, it's the same day.
What's funny is what we are getting is some of the tech from Star Trek.
Really?
Because all of the touch panels and like little pads they would have in the show seem so futuristic.
Oh, that's true.
But they're just iPads now. Or they would do video calls with each other. And now we have that all the time too on our phones. And then also they would talk to their computer to make it do stuff.
Oh, that is true.
And now we have Alexa and whatever you want to call all that stuff.
And Inspector Gadget did have the talking watch.
Yeah, so some of that. I remember Penny's computer book being so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's an iPad.
It's not so great. It's just a thing you use.
Penny would just be playing Roblox all day.
We gotta help Uncle Gadget after I finish this level.
So we got some things, but yeah, the cool stuff like the hoverboards. Our hoverboards are lame. We need real hoverboards.
We need real hoverboards.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I have to lose enough weight to actually have a support, because you could imagine in this society where all of us are overweight and such, they finally release the hoverboard. It's like it's got a max weight limit. It's like, it would either be the saddest day for many, many grown adults, or it will be the epiphany that many, many grown adults drop tons of weight because they want to be able to use a hoverboard.
You remember at the in that movie where Piff is like, "No, you need more power," and then you just need more power in your hoverboard.
No, that's not enough power. Have you seen electric bills lately? Ain't nobody paying for more power on a hoverboard.
We need a Mr. Fishin on our cars.
That's right. I need a cheaper hoverboard. Cheaper.
All right. What's your next track?
All right, so my next one was a little stupider, but reasonable for me, in that I was wondering
Reasonably stupid.
who, yeah, pretty much, and I was wondering who was one of my favorite franchises, though it's kind of fallen off heavily, but it's been resurrected for me because the Super Bowl commercial was Pokemon. I'm a big sucker for Pokemon, so I started wondering who is the first black Pokemon character. Now, most people will probably tell you, well, obviously it's Brock, which is go either way, but I don't think he really was, but I would absolutely claim him. Going back to that old point.
You can do
Racial
that.
draft, we get Brock. But as far as like art,
I'm stuck with Ash.
you're stuck with Ash Ketchum.
Great.
But he does win. He does win in the end. He does become the Pokemon champ. So there's something to that.
Eventually, right?
He does, and it's a really good battle too. If you ever just watch just that battle.
I don't have a horse in this race. I don't care about Pokemon.
I love Pokemon.
Good.
So I was like, for actual official art, who would probably be considered the first black Pokemon character?
Okay, I'm gonna, but not actual pocket monster, but
Not the Pocket Monster.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going down that hole. That's the opposite of Black History Month. That's horrible month. This is from the game Pokemon Black and White, and this is the gym leader battle from that game.
Okay.
Composed by Junichi Masuda.
this is good. This is good.
I mean, honestly,
This is hot.
I genuinely have a preference for the classic Pokemon themes, and I hate saying that this is classic, but it is at this point.
At this point it's retro.
This is Gen 5,
Yep.
and we're coming up on Gen 10. This is retro
yikes.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
So this is the gym leader battle theme from Pokemon Black and White. Kind of, you caught that after I
I know, it's on the nose.
from composed by Junichi Masuda. So this was released on the Nintendo DS, and again, this is Gen 5, so we had 4 Pokemon mainline games prior to this game. And I definitely doubled back to confirm, at least as far as gym leaders go, they were all pretty straightforward, typical scenario. And then for this game, they actually had the normal gym leader be a black woman named Lenora, which is interesting because, especially at this stage in Pokemon, the only characterization gym leaders really got was the theme of the gym itself and the line they speak when you battle them and the line they speak when you beat them. That's pretty much
hey,
it.
I'm here to fight. And then you went, oh, I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. Or in the case of a gym leader, it'll be like, so I am Lenora, the normal gym leader. I like things that are normal. How normal are you? Let's find out. And then you battle, and then it goes, oh, well, I guess you're the normalest of us after all. You win my normal badge. Wear it with pride. I'm going to have a smoke. And that's all you ever hear from them. That's the characterization.
And they're gone.
And they're gone.
They went out for smoke and they're gone.
Well, for smoke and never came back. And crap, that was Jesus. So the point is that these characters didn't get a lot of characterization. It's just here's some art.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
A few throwaway lines.
The point being is like they didn't have a whole lot, and like and the character, and this is the DS. Like they're not big.
Exactly. Just little sprites and
Tiny
then their
little
battle
sprites.
sprite.
Right.
But with that said, seeing a black Pokemon gym leader still seemed really cool for me. Ben, I was like, oh wow, there's a black one in this game, finally.
Yeah.
Because
took them long enough. Yeah.
And even as a Japanese game, I get it, but I'm still like, it's nice to see one. And one thing that's worth mentioning in this context is that I think something that a lot of people that aren't a minority don't really pick up on because they never really had to, is that when you're in your younger years, especially when you're in your younger years, there's some volume to spotting someone that hits your note. Let's put it that way. They're more like you in a game. Even if they're not a character whose characterization you agree with, like, oh yeah, he's a black character, but he's also in Grand Theft Auto. Well, that sucks. But at the same time, it's like, hey,
well, I mean,
there's a diverse cast in this game.
To have characters that look like you in the game that you're playing, suddenly, like, that game feels like a space that you're in.
Yeah.
You know? And if the games you play your whole life don't have characters that look like you, like, how's that going to feel? That's when people say about representation matters in media, like, that's what it means.
Yep.
Because especially for kids growing up, like, that perpetuates a cycle of these feelings.
Yeah, I agree. Like,
and a bunch of white kids who grew up feeling like they have no idea.
Yeah, they never had to.
Because they never had to.
I mean, you put up Contra, you got two awesome white guys wielding a variety of guns with 30 lives. They just don't die. Like, it was. I mean, I say this as a guy.
They could have put Brown.
Yeah, they could have put Lance, Bill, and Brown.
I mean, like, they could have changed the palette color.
Oh yeah, they could. It wouldn't have been hard. I mean, they could have done it, but they just didn't. And again, it was what it was. Not a big deal, but just as much as it wasn't a big deal.
Battletoads.
Yeah, I don't want to be represented in Battletoads. That game sucks. I'll die on that.
No, but I mean, like, is Zitz?
Zitz, Rash, and Pimple.
Is Rash or Pimple, are they black?
No. We're not claiming them. The Battletoads suck. They suck. No, but like, just as much as someone might say it's not a big deal that Contra was what it was, it should also be not a big deal to that same person if Lance and Bill were black. And they just made a new Contra and there were two black guys running and gunning. Yeah. Same thing for you. You're just playing the game with two guys running and gunning, right? Who cares?
But honestly, like, in the NES days, for those games especially, it's like one's blue and one's red.
Yep, and of course blue is where I was taking because it's my favorite color.
Oh,
but like it, I mean,
I'm like, wow, no kidding.
That's right, every time. But like, that's honestly how I've always perceived that topic. When people were like, and this is like the closest I'm going to get to like, sensitive dialogue. When people are like, you're forcing these minorities into our games instead of having just like this baseline. It's like, what makes it baseline? And two, if it didn't bother you that they weren't, it shouldn't bother you that they are now. And I've seen arguments of people saying things like, well, the difference here is that they're forcing it. Like, it's not a force. Someone decided to write it for whatever reason they chose. They wrote it.
Yes.
And if it works for the game, that's all that matters. You can have an entire game of purple people fighting grapefruit monsters from beyond the fridge. And at the end of the day, if that person did it and wrote it very well, and it comes across very well, what the heck do you care?
Yeah. But if you're writing about, like, people, real people, then why not have all people represented?
Yeah, just have them written. Like, I'll be blunt. If I were making a game, I might not even think off the cuff, well, I need to have, this many of this many of that. I might just be like, black guy, white guy, Asian guy, Hispanic guy.
You'll be thinking about the people around you in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's all of those things.
Yeah, and so that tells you about the people writing those games.
Yeah.
Who are the people in their lives? Not very diverse.
Yeah, and honestly, that's the people writing the games, and that's fine. That's their lives. That's totally cool. But my game is going to have all kinds of people in it, including grapefruit people.
I've heard some things about the grapefruit.
They're delicious.
They are sour
and delicious.
I never got into grapefruit.
Really?
No, it's true.
Ruby Red.
Ruby Road. I should. I don't know why Fifth Element came in my head. I should give it another try. Now that I'm an old man, I should give it another try.
The palate changes. It changes. You didn't think you'd like beer, and look at you.
Yeah. So maybe I'll get grapefruit. Maybe that's what I'll do on my birthday.
Eat grapefruit. And don't put sugar on top. I won't. That's the lame method.
Yeah. That's. That's
Like at that point, just don't eat the grapefruit.
That's just cheating.
It is cheating. Like if you're going to eat grapefruit, eat the damn grapefruit. Don't put freaking sugar on it. That's not grapefruit. That's sweet fruit.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so
remember, don't put sugar on your grapefruit. That's stupid.
All right, we're going Tekken Tag Tournament.
Okay.
This guy's been in a bunch of Tekken games, but we're going Tekken Tag Tournament because I like his music in this one, and I'll explain why. This is Eddie Gordo. He is like the capoeira style guy, which is great because in a 3D game, like you want someone with a lot of like dynamic movements in a 3D space. Capoeira is perfect for that. So Eddie Gordo's music by Yu Miyake. We're back. This is the theme of Eddie Gordo from Tekken Tag Tournament. I love this era of techno music.
I gotta confirm.
It's awesome.
His idle animation. I'm seeing it in my head.
He wore green and yellow.
But like I remember him like sort of like stationary skating.
Yeah.
That is what he did.
Yeah, that's the capoeira. Like they don't just stand there. They have like they do like a little dance.
Yep, and I just pulled it up 100%. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. I love that I remember that despite not being a fighting game guy.
So Eddie Gordo was always a favorite in Tekken because he was so different and interesting in that he did those moves, but also because those moves would combo really easily.
I was going to actually take a guess that the fact that he was always kind of in that movement state meant that it was hard to kind of visually pick off what he was going to do.
Yeah, that was a big thing too. Like the players that were difficult to play were always the ones that had like multiple stances, where there was like you have all these moves when he's doing this stance, but then if he's facing the other way or doing something else, then he's got 4 or 5 different moves. And so like you're not learning a character, you're learning like 2 or 3 characters. Mm-hmm. But with Eddie Gordo, it's like all the buttons will combo into each other because they had to make it that way because he was always going to be in different positions. Yeah,
he would cartwheel. So I know he had a cartwheel kick.
He's really, really cool. So I picked Tekken Tag Tournament because one, I love this era of techno music and dance music. It's very of that time. Mm-hmm. However, Tekken 3 and then some of the other ones, they were like, it's good. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I like hip hop. I like kind of like the New Jack Swing, like kind of fakey hip hop they do in video games. But they really, they kind of they went into it for him. And I was like, that's kind of like, hey, we have a token black guy in the game. Let's put in the token hip hop music. Yeah, and it didn't feel right.
I mean, I feel like there was a lot of that was coming out of like Japan for a bit too. Like,
true.
The base, like, okay, well, the black guy's got to have the hip hop association.
Yeah. And I don't want to give a blanket pass to like, oh, well, they're Japanese developers and like, you know, their culture's very homogenized, so we can't really say. But yeah,
it was like I have friends who used to tell me that if I were ever going to go there, I have to expect to be asked about like hip hop and basketball very often.
Yeah,
like I've had friends from Japan tell me that. So I'm like, it may not be all in all, but the I guess the template I'm working off of is somebody that is from there telling me this is what you're going to get. And then I had a friend who visited there, came back and said, yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, so my friend Ian, like way back in the day, it was like right after high school, he went to visit with some like a class.
Mm-hmm.
And he went with his friend, who was also black. But my friend Ian, we used to DJ together back in the 90s. Yeah. And so he went to a record store and he's looking around, and the record store owner knew a little bit of English. He was like, "Oh, hey, you're a DJ?" And Ian's like, "Yeah." And he looked at his friend, he's like, "And you're a rapper?"
Yep.
And the guy was like,
just run with it. You know it's innocent. You're like, yeah, it's fine.
If you're going to think I'm cool, okay.
Exactly. Yeah. And I've done that a lot in my life, too. Like, you get that presumed state, and you're like, they mean well. Yeah. I'm not going to rock the boat. I might push and say, nah, close, but nah. Or I used to do that thing where it's like, you play basketball? No, I golf.
Yeah, I golf. Yeah.
I golf.
Especially if you're visiting another country, you want to, like, oh, you're the dumb American. You know, you don't want to play into too many stereotypes. So, like, if they're going to think you're cool for whatever reason, sure, you take it.
I will say now, though, I would not be surprised if it's very different from how it used to be back then, not just because the world is more open now thanks to things like the internet, but also the fact that, I don't know, the media that gets put out is more diverse, too. Like, the black guy in a movie is not going to just be, oh, he's the rapper, he's the guy that's going to be, he's the informant for the cops or whatever. Right. Now he could be a lawyer, he could be an informant for the cops, he could be a race car driver, or he could be a runner for the mob. It goes both ends of the spectrum, all across the spectrum. And it basically shows that pretty much with competent writers at the helm, anybody can be anything. If going back to games again, and like movies, if it's written well, anyone can be anything, and it can be done very well.
That's also, if we're talking back on the international thing, it's great because like one of the biggest exports of America is Hollywood and the music.
I'd almost argue it is our biggest export.
Yeah, it probably is. And so like that's why like some random Japanese guy is going to be like, oh, okay, a black guy, maybe that's rap music. You know, like that's all because that's what we've shown.
That's what we've shown them.
And so if our movies and media only show these people in a terrible light, that's getting exported around the world. Like, that's not good. Yeah, and I wouldn't want that.
And one interesting thing to go about to like going back slightly to like the general black history, but not history. And I know it's bringing up a guy who's a piece of crap now, but the fact that the '80s, I was born I'm an '80s kid. Don't quote that for people who think I'm 57. I want them to keep thinking that. But I'm an '80s kid. And when you're a kid, you look at things through a child's lens, right? Everything's fun unless you're getting punished for something you did wrong. You know, it's just whatever it is. But then looking back and realizing that we didn't even have, they had things like the Jeffersons and Good Times and stuff, but all those shows still kind of predominantly was like, here are some black people who are poor.
Yes.
In the case of Jefferson, they were poor, but he fell into money running a laundromat. Like, it wasn't really like a stature police.
I know where you're going.
And then the first show that put a black family in a position where they could be like any other family that was successful was The Cosby Show. Yeah. And The Cosby Show came out in 1984 or 85. I always forget the two.
Oh, man. We loved that show. The whole family. We would watch it every time it was on.
Oh, yeah. Like, the main guy, the main character doesn't hold up. The main actor doesn't hold up. No. But the show absolutely does. And it's something to be said about where we were as a nation as far as how we represented or how we were represented in media, and in turn how that media went across the ocean, obviously. That it was that long that I was alive when the first successful black family was on television. Yeah. And I mean across the board, because again, like someone might say, what about the Jeffersons? Like, yeah, there's a reason why the Jeffersons is like kind of half that stereotype. It's not the stereotype. So I believe that a lot of where that came from back then stemmed from what media they were getting exposed to, because black people were not common over there. So all they really had to influence their perception was TV and music. So there's something to be said about how much we likely have grown, because TV is different, media is different, gaming is different. And everyone, go just repeat that point again to bring it full circle, anyone can be anything at any time, as long as the writing makes it work or the art makes it work. Exactly. So that may as well just be. That might be an end remember, to be honest with you. But yeah,
You do that a lot, where it's like, oh, that's the end remember. Don't worry about it.
might tuck it in the back for later.
Do you get nervous then and think, I gotta think of another one now?
Sometimes I do, but sometimes I'll just go, no, I like that too much. I'm sticking with it.
All right. What's your next track?
All right, so my last one isn't the most connected to me because I haven't fully fleshed out the title. But I was thinking, especially in my current hard-to-play games haze, who is a recent black character in the game where I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I like the way they were written and yada yada. So what I came away with is a game that I mentioned semi-recently on the show, actually. It was in my 2025 games that I liked. And this game is called Quartet.
Yeah.
The track title is called Cut the Deck, and it was composed by Tyler Meyer. Welcome back to the show.
Oh, Pernell. Pour yourself a drink there.
That's what I'm hearing right here. It's
Yeah.
like, pour a drink, sit a spell, tell a story.
Yeah.
This is Cut the Deck from the game Quartet, composed by Tyler Meyer. And this is a game that is released on Steam, though I believe it got console releases too. Fantastic game. Classic RPG style with some interesting combat mechanics.
That's an RPG Maker game, right?
It honestly is.
I think it is, yeah.
I think it is, but at the same time, a lot of time, it's hard for me to even tell anymore because RPG Maker's gotten a lot better at actually giving you variety with a basic toolkit, but you can do a lot more with that basic toolkit than the older games.
But overhead, sprite-based RPG style game.
That's very much what it is there.
Yeah.
So the reason I picked this game is because the game itself involves 4 characters coming together to form one massive party. Think like how Wild Arms 1 and 2 did it, and probably 3 now I think about it. But in this case, like I said, it's 4 characters, and they each get a companion that comes along with them to form a total party of like 8 or so people. And One of the characters in the game I thought was pretty cool was named Alexandra, which is like a kid who just works in her family's store to make ends meet. And through a series of events involving her brother, getting into trouble that he shouldn't have gotten into, running with the wrong crowd, and understandably and unexpectedly learning that she's attuned to magic, she befriends a talking hippo and goes on an adventure. And I thought it was just kind of cool how they wrote the character and how it played out in the game. And it makes me want that and the character Ben, who I think I brought up when I talked the show about the game the last time I came in about it. It made me want to focus on the game and do more with it. Maybe that could be one of the games I pick back up and find my spirit in gaming again. But yes, I think this is like the most recent notable black character that came to mind. So I wanted to make sure they get referenced, and also just to give an example or another excuse to let people know they should play Quartet if they like classic RPGs.
I've been loving this music, man. The first time you played music from Quartet I think it was last episode, and it was Barbershop.
Yeah.
And now this is like...
Oh, was it last episode?
I think it was.
Wow.
And then this is like full-on like jazz quartet.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice.
It's good stuff.
Real smooth. Going down smooth, Pernell.
Da, da, da.
You know what also goes down smooth, Pernell?
Whiskey.
Street Fighter 2.
No, it doesn't. It takes 2 rounds to go down.
I did to it, man. This is Balrog stage. Street Fighter 2. So not playable character. This is Street Fighter 2 for the arcade, CPS 1 board
he was just
edition.
a boss.
Just a boss. One of the 4, what are they called? I forget the 4 bosses of the
Weren't
game.
they like the generals of Shadowloo?
Yeah, I think the captains or generals of Shadowloo. Music by Yoko Shimomura. The only track that wasn't Yoko Shimomura was Sagat. So, but here we go, Balrog stage.
It's a shame because that's the best track in the game.
And Bison.
And I'll die on that.
The
hill.
boxer. Which one? Sagat?
Sagat.
Oh, 100%. I agree. I agree with that. Here we go. Iconic, Pernell.
Yeah, this is good stuff.
Something about classic video game music, like Mega Man music, right? Castlevania.
Which I think also was Yoko Shimomura at
Street Fighter 2, yeah.
That was Manami Matsu.
Oh my goodness, Pernell. Just this music. So yeah, I mean, like, they've had other characters. I could have gone Dudley style. I love Dudley's music from Street Fighter 3.
I think you've played Dudley on the show before.
Yeah, I can play that again. I don't think I've ever played Balrog stage. Not the original, anyway. And not like the original.
So this is actually different from Balrog's theme on Street Fighter 2 in the Super Nintendo?
It's the same. It's just arranged for, I like the way it sounds in the arcade edition. But I think I've played like remixes or arrangements of the song before. But it's just so good. It's just so good. Like, and then you think about it too, like you're playing this in the arcade. First of all, you gotta be playing it single player through all the characters just to get to the final 4. Mm-hmm. And even then, they're super duper hard.
More quarters to burn when you start to lose.
And so the only time you're ever hearing this music is if you get to this far.
Mm-hmm.
And so that it's gotta be epic. And that's what all of these are.
Lots of jump kicks, I guess.
Yes. Lots of cheesing out the all of the characters.
All the cheese.
But also, like, Balrog was one of the first characters where I'm like, oh, you have like 3 kick buttons, but they all do punches.
That's right.
So he's got 6 punches.
Because he is M. Bison, baby.
Yeah. There was we had a weird Game Genie code to play as the final boss characters for the Super Nintendo version of the game.
Oh.
And it was real glitchy.
I was saying, did they have moves?
No, they kind of did, and then the moves kind of fell apart. So, but it was neat. All right, it's time to turn this music down and get into the part that we call the bonus round.
Bonus round.
The bonus round is where we
stole my bit.
Yeah,
bonus round.
Bonus
round. There you go. Splice that together.
Man, I thought you were going Limp Bizkit style.
Now I was going to who put the bonus in the
good.
bonus round.
Anyway, the bonus rounds replay covers and remixes and arrangements based on our theme. Pernell, what do you have for me?
Well, I had a hard time finding a track for this game, but I came across one I ended up liking. But I decided I had to use this game because of a specific character in it, and I'll bring up why when the track is done playing. But you'll probably already know once you hear the game.
All right.
This comes from the game Half-Life 2. And the track title, covered track anyway, is called Portal Storm, and is covered / remixed by Red G.
All right, Gordon, your suit should keep you comfortable through all this.
Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. No one is more deserving of this is where I
Welcome back. Hopefully you enjoyed that enough to spend the whole time with it, but if not, I totally understand if you skipped ahead. But it's a good track, and that track is Portal Storm from the game Half-Life 2, covered by Red G. And it's been around for a hot minute, but no harm in going back and revisiting an old classic. And why am I revisiting that old classic? Alex Vance. That's why I'm revisiting a classic. Alex Vance is, to this day, she was probably the first companion character in a game that I can vividly remember and really enjoyed. And she is probably also one of my first video game crush characters. And she also happened to be black.
Yeah.
There's a nice, full rhombus of joy there that I cannot refute. And her father was Eli Vance, who was also a well-written, great character in that game.
I actually played some of this game because it was in the orange box.
That's right.
Yeah.
Orange box was so good. I bought the orange box and played it on there fully. But this is the first game. I don't want to say the first game, but no, it is. This is the first game I got for Steam. In fact, it came with Steam. You had to get Steam installed to play Half-Life 2.
Wow.
And I bought Half-Life 2 because Mike suggested it. He's like, you like this, Pernell. I know you don't play FPS games, but you'll like this one. He was right, by the way. Portal gun is great. Or the gravity gun, I meant.
So anyway, so on multiple levels, but this is a very, actually important game.
A very important game for me. I love this game. I love Alex Vance. If she were alive today, obviously upscaled in age because I'm older now too, I would marry her in a heartbeat.
There you go.
Or at least help her save her
Well,
society.
let's find that Xbox and the orange disc and
get back to basics.
get back to it.
And it had Portal too, remember?
I know. That's how I played Portal. What's the other one? Team Fortress.
Team Fortress
Tuesdays.
Which I actually hate it, but loved when I played it on there.
Yeah, because it was a community thing, right?
That's
social.
right. Team Fortress 2 is like you said.
All right, so for me, this is not a black character. This is an artist. This is Mega Ran. I love Mega Ran. Grammy nominated. Just recently nominated for a Grammy.
So he could actually win a Grammy this year.
No. The Grammys are over. He did not win.
Oh, that sucks.
But
also, how did I forget that?
But he got... who follows these things? But he got a nod for one because he is writing music for kids.
Okay.
Because he's a dad now, and he's writing music for his kid, and it's great. But he's still doing it. He's still doing game music. This is a quick little thing he did for Mega Man 2. It's called Make It Quick, man.
How quick is it?
Yeah. Pass the boomerang, let me do my thing. I'ma make it quick, man. What up, Joe? Yeah, don't take it personal, but I could probably make an album just listing all the things I was the first to do. On top of that, most honest, most versatile, most time plus most merciful. The God, yo, I don't do the boasting, shameless self-promotion. Yet he stay in motion on every side of the ocean. Jetting like Leader One when I cop the GoBots. Back every year like Wally with new robots. This era I ran is like Mega Man 4. The game got easy as soon as I started charging. Still jumping whenever I go through a door. Came off the bench rookie year, instantly was starting. Rest in peace, skip the gab. I was on a different path till I heard Broken Arrow and started to get the hash. Started telling stories, shipping scenes, getting green. Found my own lane, all I had to do was hit the gas. Magical sun shower, outrun the sun. You'd be surprised what could be done in an hour. Sunset rider, Comado, and a poncho. Filling up my pen with fresh gunpowder. Linked up with Joe November in San Antonio. Dropped me an E-Tank before I landed home. Fought through the jet lag and Concrud and all the hard times that I'm not so fond of. Getting smacked in the back of the head when I lined up. Telling them that I'ma do it big like John Stud. Been equipped and I've never been questioned. They only put me on the shelf if them others felt threatened. And this is the beginning of the Mega Ran legend. Hey. And we out.
That's good, right?
I swear, to this day,
He's got...
my entire life, rap has always confounded and amazed me. Like, if I'm sitting here being real dopey and goofy, I could sit here and riff some beats, and get something done. But it'll be one and done because I can't remember that. I can't remember that train of thought and that course of information to repeat it over and over again. Mega Ran and other rappers can take 20 tracks that flow like that, where the thoughts are connected. But as a person listening, I don't know how they're all connected to actually link them up like that.
I know it is alchemy, honestly. Really good, really, really good rap. It's just, you have no idea how it goes.
But it's alchemy plus the memory.
It's the memory. It's not just the rhyme schemes, but also the rhythm that they play off of it, where it's sometimes not on the beat. It's sometimes like like symmetrical on one side and the other. It's really interesting. And there's always like the joke of like the 90s like positive rap, but like he's got a really good message, you know. He's just talking about his life, you know. It's great. And of course he's a super nerd, so he's talking about Mega Man.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I love it.
So good. So anyway, for more information on the bonus round, go to rhythmandpixels.com. We'll have links to the artists' Bandcamps and SoundClouds and everywhere you can get the music and support the artists. All right, thank you everybody for joining us on episode 39-5 of Rhythm and Pixels, our
Black History Month, or Black History, Black Characters. It's good to be Black episode.
Should I put that back? Put that back. Should I put that as the title of the episode? It's good to be Black?
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
There's the title.
It's good to be Black. Seems weird for me typing that.
Well, it is.
It's good to be Black.
You can say it as a message, like
Welcome Black.
I have it on good authority that it's good to be Black.
There you go. So I'm glad that we do this. I think we should always do this. I'm surprised we didn't do this before. I feel like, why are we trying to force a Valentine's episode? That's lame.
Well, I'll admit, I liked our one Valentine's episode where we had the Tory Storytime segment. Rob knows love. Pernell does it. So Rob will tell the love story, and I'll tell the twist that just breaks it.
That was fun. But anyway, this is much better. And I think more relevant, and you know, just what we're thinking about nowadays.
Here to that.
Anyway, so for more information on our show, you can go to our website,
www.rhythmandpixels.com.
At rhythmandpixels.com, you get access to all of our episodes because our feed only goes back so far. So if you want Rhythm and Pixels babies, go to our website. There's also links to our Discord at the top of the webpage, and links to merchandise such as like T-shirts and hoodies, like all the cool designs that I've put together. You can find on the website. And if you want to get in contact with the show, if you would like to have a topic suggestion, a song suggestion, or if you yourself are a remixer or an artist or even a game developer, we would love to hear from you. Please send us an email.
rhythmandpixels@hotmail.com.
We do read all of our emails. We don't always get back to you. That's just our life.
But we might try if you write. So
we'll try.
And we'll write.
We'll try. And if you want to get on the show, you just got to ask. We'll probably just do it.
We gotta get Gonzalo on.
I know. I know. I gotta get the energy back to setting all this up again. So yeah, we could do that. What else we gotta say? If you want to support the show, the best thing you can do is just tell people about it. Say that you like video game music, you hear it on a podcast. Share the podcast.
Write it in a tome and then bury it in the dirt, and then wait 200 years to see if someone digs it up and goes, "Wow, what is this Rhythm and Pixels I'm hearing so much about in this eclectic tome?"
Exactly what I'm thinking about for now. Yeah. I was just going to say the same thing.
I figured finishing each other's thoughts.
So dumb. That's the dumbest thing I've done all night.
Thoughts.
Anyway, you can also support us by going to Patreon. At patreon.com/rhythmandpixels. You get access to all of the episodes a little bit earlier, and there's some bonus stuff from the past, honestly. And there's also some cool merchandise you can get through the show for the show exclusively through Patreon. There's some stickers, some mug designs, and some exclusive T-shirts. And we also like to thank all of our Patreon members who are at the highest levels at the end of every episode. So we want to thank Christopher Senstrom and Khalid, both of you. Thank you so much for supporting our show for so long. We really, really appreciate it.
Really do.
We want to thank Ulf Person, Kristen GameFan44, Brian Pitt, Carlos Kung Fu Carlito, co-host of the Heroes 3 podcast. Thank you to Cameron Werma and Steve Miller. Cameron Werma, who also did some drum, I think played bass and some rhythm guitar on some new music that Cameron Childs has put out.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, not as the Mad Gear, but just as a whole other project.
Didn't they have a thing like Camelodian or something like that?
They did, Camicom.
Oh, okay.
They worked together on that, but they've also have a new one. It's really, I'll share it with you later after the show. Thank you to Stephen Miller, Reinhard Silkova, David Taylor, Harold Howard, Taco, Justin Schneider, co-host of XVGM Radio, Chris Weisner, a.k.a. Musashi219.
The wise guy.
Thank you to Rage Cage, Etchelada Regal, Martyrist, host of the VGM podcast, which is all about covers and remixes.
Remasters, rearrangements.
Awesome. Thank you to Zach Thornbach, the Ant Master, David Good, Kitty Sparks. We got Leslie Picadillo, and many, many, many more. Thank you so much for continuing to support our show. We really appreciate it. The money goes towards the hosting of the files, the domain, the website, equipment that breaks, and honestly, just seeing your names really encourages us to make better content.
I had a weird thought just now, which could be fun, but I don't know how much participation we'd get. Imagine if we did maybe a month or every here and there, a score challenge. Because we were talking about games with scores.
We could do that.
You gotta think of the game, and they'd have to post the picture with the score, maybe with their name written on a piece of paper to indicate it was clearly them that was playing it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, just see what happens.
I would like that. We'll set that up on the Discord, and that would be the game. Maybe we'll make it like a classic game,
Yeah, something that everyone has access to.
like a pinball score chasing type thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks to everybody for listening to the show, for listening this long. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate you. And we'll the next couple episodes will be our morning rush episodes, which is just like little playlists for when you're driving to work. And then we'll be back again with a new chat. So we'll see you next time. My name's Rob Nichols.
And I'm Pernell.
We'll see you. Bye.
And remember, I'm going back to Black History Month for a second. You may not be a big fan of history. You may not be a big fan of why 1 month for this or whatever. It is what it is. But one thing worth noting across the board is that the purpose of having access to history is for the aspect of being able to learn aspects of that history in order to, one, better yourself, because you can learn from the mistakes of others in a way that can inspire or educate you. It's also a good way to work as a blueprint on what to do and what not to do as an individual, as a society, as a species. Because though, as quote an old adage, those who fail to learn history are doomed to repeat it. And we have definitely gotten to a point where we've kind of taken history kind of as a joke, or in a way where people just kind of admonish it or ignore it. Take it for granted. And that's not really the way it should be. Even if you don't see yourself going, oh, I understand why Black history exists, which, by the way, there is a very important reason why it exists as a month.
Right.
Even if you don't get that, maybe just the appreciation of the history being put out there to be learned from may be enough. Because it's worth understanding. It's worth knowing. And even if you don't think it pertains to you, trust me, it absolutely does. In some way, shape, or form, it definitely pertains to you, just like any other history lesson would. So that's about the gist of that. Also, it's good to be black.
There you go. You got to say it at least one point in the episode.
I have to.
Yeah.
That's a soundbite.